This is the government news brief for Tuesday, December 22, 2015. In the news, sugar exceeds its 2015 target by over 3,300 tons, Childcare and Protection Agency pursuing regulation of daycare facilities, and waiting time for processing of documents for persons in the diaspora reduced by at least 1 month. With these and other stories, I am Azim Khan. The second sugar crop of 2015 is at an end, and the goals set by the Ghana Sugar Corporation with regards to production achievements have been met and surpassed. This can be attributed to several factors. Shanta Gobadan reports.
The company's total production was pegged at 230,764 tons today, surpassing the set production target of 227,443 tons by over 3,300 tons. After the set target was achieved last week, the company set its sight on achieving at least 230,000 tons, which it has since exceeded. After more than a decade, Gaisuku has achieved the second crop target. This achievement could not have occurred had it not been for the hard work of the management and the workers.
I'm very pleased that they have all worked diligently and as hard as they usually do, and to help realize the target. As you know, the target is partially the work of the workers, but also management styles. There have been some innovative measures taken to have the factories perform better, and so I believe that some of those innovations are showing the independence of the management of Gaisuko, free from political interference and diktat, and it's showing a good, hopeful sign for Gaisuko as an industry.
The corporation is also expecting to achieve 150,000 tons for the second crop, which is a certainty considering that Albion is still grinding. The Berbice estate will close its operations tomorrow, officially ending the second crop. About 380 tons more are needed to reach the 150,000 ton mark. Under new management instituted by the coalition government, there has been renewed energy from the workers who have been working very hard. When it took office in May, the industry was in dire straits. Sugar has been beset with numerous problems, the biggest one being its debt. The company up to July 2015 was indebted by $82 billion. It is hoping that with the production target being met, this positive trend could continue so that it can start reducing its debt and reversing the industry's situation.
This government does not wish to politicize business. That was Gaisuko's problem. So we have taken, you saw what happened, we took a hands-off approach, appointed a competent board, let the management and the workers do what they're supposed to do, and they surpassed the target within 5 months.
Government has said that sugar is too big to fail, and as such all efforts will be made to save the industry and safeguard the livelihood of its close to 17,000 workers. With this government news brief, I'm Shanta Gobadan reporting.
The reduction in time for processing of documents for Guyanese and others in the diaspora has been identified as one of the major successes of the Department of Citizenship of the Ministry of the Presidency. Minister of Citizenship Winston Felix is particularly pleased about the progress made thus far. Here are the details in this Shanta Gobadan report.
Guyanese, particularly those in the diaspora, have over time complained about the long periods they have to wait to have their passports and other documents processed. This time has been significantly reduced, Minister Felix reported.
I can say for sure the passport arriving at the immigration department from the diaspora is completed within a 7-day period. More often, 5 days. And therefore, the waiting period outside of Guyana has been reduced sometimes by 3 months, by 2 months rather. We have taken off at least 1 month of the waiting time because the passports go through a chain, and when we're finished, it goes to another ministry, and then a courier service or some other service might take over from there, and that is what adds on to the other to the additional waiting time. But we finish them within 5 days.
The other area where the department has recorded much success is in processing of visa applications. The department has been addressing the backlog of applications dating back to 2007.
Generally, the service we offer here in comparison to the past aims at improving efficiency and by cutting down on time waste and the additional wait and come back is not one of the features which we want to encourage. Your application comes in, it is either approved or denied, and there is no middle ground. The only middle ground in between there is processing, and we are trying to cut down on the waiting period as much as possible.
It is the aim of the administration to make life easier for Guyanese living in every part of the country. Only a few months at the helm of managing the affairs of state, government is already demonstrating its intentions of fulfilling the commitments made to Guyanese. With this government news brief, I am Shanti Goberdan reporting.
The Childcare and Protection Agency in 2015 not only targeted the laying of groundwork for registration of daycare facilities, but also training for their staff. Paul McAdam reports.
This is in preparation for the Childcare and Development Services Act, which is soon to be approved by the National Assembly. This act sets out the standards and guidelines for the operations of daycares locally.
We've been working this year on finding these homes. We had set a target of 300 daycare facilities that we should find. It was our estimation. And to date, we have found 280. And we have done the preliminary work with the requirements for the application and getting them up to the minimum standards. So we've been working with them to get them to the minimum standards.
During 2015, the Childcare and Protection Agency, with support from the United Nations Children's Education Fund, UNICEF, conducted several sessions with daycare managers and administrators. These sessions were held in Georgetown, Linden, and Berbice.
The whole importance of early childhood development, that's the foundation years for a child. So children must have good experiences during this period. Their standards, their minimum standards for the operations of these centers. So the sessions were to make them aware of the minimum standards, what is required of them, how important that a daycare services is for a child. They must have these early childhood experiences lasting in a child's personality development.
The registration and licensing of local daycares in keeping with international standards is part of a push to ensure the protection of those young children and toddlers placed in daycares throughout the country. This will be done through the implementation of several key early childhood development program strategies.
Work is ongoing on several projects under the Public Health Ministry as greater emphasis is being placed on strengthening the local healthcare facilities as the government works towards achieving universal health care. Shivani Rampasad gives us the details.
Despite being faced with challenges within the first 6 months of taking up office, the new administration has been able to commence a number of projects within the public health sector. According to the subject minister, Dr. George Norton, the biggest challenge met by the new administration in this sector is that of poor infrastructure. Most of these projects have commenced and or are in the implementation phase.
The challenges were numerous and still are. The achievements of a lesser, let's say, quantity, but we hope to improve on our achievements, especially in the new year and the years to come. I was particularly challenged with the infrastructure that we meet in place and the systems that might still be in place. My first approach was to get on-site idea of what actually exists. And unfortunately, it was not pleasant. So we're working in that particular area of improving on our infrastructure.
Going forward, the government will be focusing on the improvement of these conditions, as its major focus will be on completely improving primary health care.
We have to improve on our primary health care. And I'm happy that we managed to access funding to improve the primary health care level of 3 hospitals. That is the West Demerara Regional Hospital, the Sodi Regional Hospital, and the Bartica Regional Hospital. With those areas where we're looking at both infrastructure as well as the actual provision of health care in terms of equipment, medical supplies, and so on, we are looking forward to the improvement in that particular area.
For this government news brief, Shivani Rampersad reporting.
Moves are being made by the coalition government to address the challenges faced by those who are desirous of pursuing careers in the legal field. Paul McAdam reports.
So challenges affecting the legal sector locally and across the region are recognized by the coalition government. This is according to Minister of Legal Affairs, Attorney General Basil Williams.
There's a general belief that there are too many lawyers coming out every year and that many of the countries can't sustain them. Contributions to the Youth Law School or the Council of Legal Education schools on its ages, like it's generally acceptable that countries cannot pay the full contribution, but they should pay some contribution.
Several countries in the region are even moving to establish their own law schools to resolve the issue.
Including Antigua. You have Bahamas, where Jamaica wants to expand the Norman Manley School, and Trinidad, as you know. The universities also in those countries are churning out a lot of law graduates. So this question about Ghana and its 25, we even we're supposed to have plus 10 of other students from other parts of CARICOM. But it seems that certainly on my taking office, I've seen that the question of even getting the 25 in is problematic. And so it's something that we need to address.
It was noted by the Attorney General that the full LLB degree is done at the University of Guyana, and only 25 students out of the approximately 200 graduates are permitted spaces at the Trinidadian Law School.
We have to have something done in relation to as to whether we establish our own law schools or whether we're going to contribute to the Youth Law School. We need to have the agreement that had established Ghana's position in this situation. We need to have that agreement signed again.
In the near future, a meeting of the Caribbean Council of Legal Education is scheduled to be held in the Bahamas, where the draft agreement between the University of Guyana, the University of the West Indies, and the Council will be examined again. In addition to this, a public-private partnership between the Jamaican University and UG is being examined as another possible option. Paul McAdam with this Government News Brief.
That has brought us to the end of the Government News Brief for Tuesday, December 22, 2015. Check out our other programs on our website. You can also find us on Facebook and on YouTube. Remember to send us your Guyana Nice photo. Here is ours.